Welcome to the Beyond Jiu Jitsu podcast. This is a very special episode. Episode 100.
100.
We made it.
50 plus 50.
It's 100.
That's as much.
25 times 4.
Yeah, we did it.
Shit.
Episode 100. Pretty much more within a couple of week window. It has been about a year since episode 1 was released. I think we mentioned it on a previous episode. From memory, I think it was August 11th. I think that episode, that the first episode of the podcast ever came out. And this episode 100 will be around like the 20-something of July. So more or less within a couple of week window, we did 100 episodes in the first year. Unfortunately missed a few weeks due to sickness, but
I've been thinking about this a lot. I know we missed a few weeks. However, in the first launch of the podcast, we were releasing like 5 a week.
Yeah.
That should have made up for it.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah,
we were pretty hectic.
Yeah, we didn't have any breaks during Christmas either.
I thought you were about to say we didn't have any jobs. So,
no.
So we just release it all the time.
Yeah. No, like during Christmas and New Year's, we kept the schedule.
Yeah,
we
100% we
pre-recorded a bunch of episodes while you were away in Sweden, so we didn't miss any then.
Yep.
It wasn't until we got a bit screwed with chest infections and COVID isolation rules and whatnot that then we actually couldn't record because we didn't want to record remotely anyway because we would have lost some quality. Here we are. Adam Childs, Kieren Lefebvre, episode 100.
And if you've listened to every episode of this podcast up until now,
you rock.
You're a legend.
Fucking awesome.
So we've been sort of talking about episode 100 coming up, like, oh, what are we going to do? We're going to get drunk at the podcast. Haha. We're going to record something in the gym. We had so many good suggestions from the audience. So thank you for submitting your suggestions. However, as you're about to experience, we decided to go with a bit of a looser, more fun format, a bit of a jiu-jitsu pop quiz.
Yeah. So firstly, to clarify why we're not doing some of the more extreme suggestions, although they would have been cool. Like one that I really liked was someone suggested doing, kind of like a tour of the gym and, a day in training and whatever. And I mean, that's a great suggestion and potentially a video we could do in the future and put on YouTube. But it was kind of like, that doesn't really translate to an audio format for a podcast. Like, at the end of the day, it's a podcast. So if someone's just listening on Spotify and then you're trying to do, here's a tour of the gym.
It'd be hard. It'd be hard. And we need to honor our audio format listeners.
Yeah. And then some of the other ones like, having some beers and drinking or whatever. Like, okay, Kieren doesn't drink. It's also,
I'm a loser.
It's also 9:30 in the morning. And then, I'm teaching multiple classes throughout the rest of the day.
All I'm hearing is excuses. But we have an awesome episode planned. We have a shitload of quiz questions. It's going to be a bit of banter, a bit of fun. I have some spicy ones in there, some random ones that Adam...
I don't know this quiz, by the way. I just was like, right before we started recording, I was like, do you need this paper? And I reached for it and Kieren was like, whoa, you can't look at
that. So we got a whole bunch of fun banter. And before we begin, we're about to jump straight into it, but at this important milestone for the podcast, I want to thank the supporters of the show, all the Patreons that have supported us. And I'm just going to go through and thank them individually by name.
You made that sound like the people who aren't Patreons don't support the show.
Well, of course they do, but these are the
next level supporters.
These guys are the only important
shout out
ones.
to the Patreons. Off you go, Kieren.
Yeah, so big thank you to Rami, William, Joey, Alex, James, JP, and Nicholas.
You guys rock. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
A few of these people we know in person. A few we've met just recently. Nicholas, when he came over from New Zealand, was awesome.
Yeah.
And also thank you to all the people we run into at the competitions around here in Sydney. It's it's really cool to meet people face to face, and we say it all the time. You're always welcome to come up and have a chat. But so we're just going to have a bit of a chilled, banter episode. Kieren's got a quiz for me. I've got a sort of
I like
joking.
yours. Let's do yours first because I think yours is funny.
Well, yours seems more serious. We'll save mine for when we've run out of humor.
I like it.
Mine's a joking quiz.
Yours is very funny. Like yours is going to be very good.
Yeah, so we'll go over it in a second, but let's see. Okay. I have no idea what Kieren's got.
So I have a mix of jiu-jitsu specific questions. I've got some like jiu-jitsu / UFC questions. I got this. Some of them I made up myself. Some of them I got from like, random websites and shit like that. So
you're really going to highlight how little I know about jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I figured that
this is the 100th and last episode of the podcast.
This is literally an Ask a Black Belt because this episode's meant to be Ask a Black Belt. If we continue on. So now it's actually, Quiz a Black Belt.
Yeah. It's funny as well because within the first year of the podcast, it's also, people who've listened to multiple episodes would know that, we started the podcast, you were a white belt, we've done 100 episodes, you're a blue belt now. I'm not sitting here about to announce that we're changing the artwork. Ain't happening.
We still get comments. We got one yesterday.
Really?
I shit you not. I got one yesterday. Someone said the artwork needs to change on one of our latest episodes, a brand new listener. So even the new guys are getting onto it.
There's still the threat that one guy will burn down the gym if we change it.
Fuck him. I can take him. All right. I know who it is. I can take it. All right. Here we go. So the first question. And feel free to follow along at home.
What does the winner get?
The winner gets a prize.
A high five.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to do whatever. Fuck it. Let's just go. It's like 6 minutes in. All right. So the first question. BJ Penn is famous for collecting 2 important titles. The gold at black belt and the UFC belt. What other man accomplished the same?
Oh, the UFC belt and a
world title.
BJJ world title. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, I got to give you the names. It's multiple choice.
You fucking suck.
Some of them aren't multiple choice.
Okay.
It threw me off. Okay, this one's easier because you get, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of names on this list, but here we go. Apologies to everyone in advance. A, Frank Mir. B, Murillo Bustamante. That's the one. C, Fabio Gorel. Gurgel. That's your fucking coach. Gurgel. It's hard when you're reading it. Shut up, everyone. And D is Rodrigo Minotauro.
Oh, fuck, man. I actually don't know. Well, I know Fabio didn't win a UFC title.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
So
that leaves A, B, or D.
If Minotauro won did Frank Mir win? I'm gonna go with Murillo.
B?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want the answers straight away or at the end?
No, you got to give the answer now because what if people stop listening?
Oh, that's true. Yep, you're right. It's correct. Well done.
Cool.
Let me just double check. That.
Man, it's so funny the way you pronounce Gurgel because the other day
I know it though.
The other day in the gym, one of the students was like, just legitimately asking me a question, something about Fabio. I don't know how it came out, and it was like, and what does Fabio, what's his name? Fabio, what do you say? Fabio Gurgle? For those who don't know.
It was that Chad.
No, it was Pro, but for those who don't know, it's spelled Gurgel. So you can see how like someone who doesn't speak Portuguese could easily say gurgle.
Yeah, totally.
Gurgel.
Yeah, I knew it. Anyway, question number 2.
Put a tick next to it, bro.
Oh,
so I
tick,
got it right.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
thanks.
Tick. Okay, so question 2. He's the only 3-time open class champion to date. Who is he? Oh man, I really should have picked. All of these have names, and I'm bad at pronouncing names. Okay.
Only 3-time open champ for what? Like open champ of what?
Oh fuck, I don't know. You have to figure it out.
Fuck.
I think it's open. I think it's open class. I think it's meant to be open weight world champion. Okay, he's the only 3-time open class champion to date. Who is he? That's the question, bro.
I'm questioning this question, but go on with the multiple choice.
All right. So we got A, Marcio Padi Pano. How about you read him? The answer's not on there, so just
which should I? Which one am I reading? Number 2.
Yeah, number 2. This is terrible. I'm sorry, everyone.
Fernando Margarita.
Yep.
Amori Bitetti and Roger Gracie.
Yep.
Oh, no, I didn't see A. Mauricio Pejipano.
Okay.
I mean, it's got to be Roger, but Bushesha's a multiple-time open class world champion too.
Yeah, well, Not according to this.
Good thing we're not drinking because this is already fucked.
I'm already feel drunk. All right, so you're correct.
I'm definitely correct. Yeah,
it is
all
Hodger Gracie. Well done. You get a tick. And maybe Prashesha. We're not sure.
We'll never know.
Jamie, pull that up. Okay, who is the female fighter with the most gold medals in IBJJF World Championship?
Oh, good question.
Okay.
You want me to read the names again?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fuck it. You read the names for the audience.
We don't need you here, Kieren. I'll just read the quiz
You do
myself.
your own quiz.
Who is the female fighter with the most gold medals in IBJJF? Leticia Ribeiro, Leca Vieira, Kira Gracie, Michele Nicolini.
I like that.
I don't know. I actually thought it would have been.
I like your pronunciation of Portuguese because you actually have like that accent. Sounds cool.
I actually thought it would have been if this wasn't multiple choice. I would have thought it was Gabby Garcia because she
Maybe it is because this quiz is not very accurate.
Because the reason I'm saying that is because she often won weight and absolute. So and you're saying the most gold medals, so she's getting 2 in the 1 year.
And it doesn't mention black belt gold medals either. So
yeah, okay.
We're
so
assuming it is.
this we're assuming it is. Is it Michele Nicolini?
You're going with D.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
No, it was A.
That was I wasn't sure if it was Leticia Ribeiro. I thought it might have been as well. Fuck.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
How many does she have? Do you have that in the quiz or just
No. This is there was
we weren't very,
further digging.
We weren't very prepared for this episode.
No, all the other so obviously these aren't my questions.
These are ones you just
the ones that I came up. I've got bonus information. I got all sorts of stuff coming up.
In Kieren's defense, when I was doing some digging for quiz questions and stuff as well, man, like they were dog shit
out there. Yeah.
Most of the quizzes I pulled up were things like
silly.
this. If you're lying on your back using your legs to attack your opponent, what position are you in? You know,
Close guard.
Yeah, or guard, right? They were all just these stupid questions.
Yeah,
like,
I found one where it was like, name as many jiu-jitsu submissions as you can. And I was typing in shit. It's one where you can type in. I was like, cross collar choke. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Like straight foot lock, straight ankle lock. Nah, wrong. Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
Leg locks.
stupid. Yeah.
Like it was silly. Anyway, okay. Question 4 for those following along at home. What's your score? What year did the BJJ Worlds first land in the US?
Oh, shit.
A, 2006, B, 2007, C, 2008, or D, 1995?
2006.
2006.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. That is your answer, 2006. It was 2007.
Fuck, I was only off by 1 year, bro. It's all right.
Mate, it was 2007. Jesus.
Jeez. I knew it wasn't 1995. White belts who have the list know that, bro.
Yeah, bro. Hey, I'm a blue belt, man. Come on. Shit. Technically, they would know.
Yeah, so they used to, for those who don't know, they used to have like the worlds prior to the US that were hosted in Brazil, but it wasn't really until it moved to the US that it became kind of what it is today.
Yeah, totally. Okay, question 5. What type of move one despised up to that point, that's a big hint, did Rodrigo Comprido use to submit Roberto
Wrist lock.
Let's see if I can get this. Holeta?
Yeah.
Yes, at the final of the 1999 BJJ Worlds. A, footlock. B, go-go plata. C, Ezekiel. Or D, bicep lock. You said you locked in wrist lock straight away, so therefore...
No, it's bicep lock because I know the exact...
Bicep lock.
Yeah, because I know it's like from side control on top.
Okay, let me just...
I'd be a bit upset if I'm wrong.
Fuck, bro. Foot lock.
Fuck, god damn it.
The answer was A, foot lock. Despised at the time. Foot locks, man.
Well, the hint is bicep locks are still despised. Yeah, I thought it was because he does this one.
That's funny.
He does this one from like how can I explain it? Imagine.
Are you talking about the bicep lock?
Yeah, so it's like a bicep lock combination with a wrist lock. So imagine you're what? So imagine you've put a lasso in. Like imagine I'm playing guard.
Yep.
I've put a spider lasso in, and then the sweep where the person on top, they try to pass your guard away from the lasso. And then you kind of bait them into taking side control. So then you sweep them over the top of you by having like, you've got the lasso, so the shin in the bicep, and then your other shin goes across their belly, and you kind of sweep them over to knee on belly. So then you keep that lasso, and you can kind of do this bicep crush wrist lock position from side control there.
Because your leg would be over their
your
arm.
shins over their bicep.
yeah.
So you've essentially got that lasso position, but from side control on top. And Compredo does like a bicep crush wrist lock submission from there.
Fair enough.
So that's why I thought instantly it was that. But anyway, okay.
It was footlock. That's okay.
Well, at least I justified my decision.
That's fair enough. Okay, question 6. The BJJ Worlds have raised the arms of several pairs of outstanding brothers. Which pair below does not consist of siblings? Fuck, all right, you're going to have to read this one. They're all Portuguese.
Saulo and Alexandre Ribeiro, Guilherme and Rafa Mendes, Leonardo and Rodolfo Vieira, João e Paulo Mião. Is C, Leonardo and Rodolfo Vieira.
Okay, so they are not brothers. Correct. Well done.
Yeah, maybe Rodolfo's like, there's my brother Leo right here. He just doesn't train jiu-jitsu. Yeah, so Alexandre, better known as Shanji, right? So that's Shanji.
Okay.
Saulo and Shanji Ribeiro.
Yep.
Right.
I know the Mendes brothers.
The Mendes brothers, and you obviously know João and Paulo Mião, the Mião brothers.
Yeah, the Mião brothers. I know those.
Rodolfo has a sister, though, who's a world champion.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Is God, I forget.
So that was actually a hard question. These are hard, and I
actually I'm a bit embarrassed to say I forget her name because I mean it's not like I'm friends with her, but I know her because I know I'm friends with her partner Luana. But I'm annoyed I've forgotten her first name because everyone calls her like little Rodolfo. Okay. Anna, I think her name is Anna Vieira.
Anna, okay.
Let me just check.
Well, while you're checking, maybe you can do two things at once.
Anna
and listen.
Catalina Vieira. Yep.
Okay, Anna. All right. Question number 7. This legend of the sport decided to return to the BJJ Worlds in 2002 at featherweight, going on to reach the final and be stopped by champion Fredson. Oh man, that's so hard to pronounce. Pacquiao?
Fredson Paixão.
How do you pronounce that? It's got accents and all sorts of stuff. It's got an X in it. Say it again. Fredson
Paixão.
Who is he? So it's the person that came back to the BJJ Worlds in 2002 at featherweight, reached the final and was stopped by Paixão. Sounds almost French. Okay, so A, Fernando Pinduca.
Whatever.
That guy. Close enough. Ricardo De La Riva. Got that one.
Good job.
Walid Ismail, and Hoist Gracie.
Fuck, I don't know, this is going to be a complete guess. In what year was it?
Did they 2002.
I'm going to say De La Riva.
Fuck yeah, nice.
Was
correct.
That right?
You were correct. Ricardo De La Riva. Very nice.
Fucking back, baby. Let's
man,
go.
This I should have vetted this. I really should have.
Well, I'm looking forward to when we get to your questions.
Yeah, my questions are a lot better. They're all fucking names. Okay, Marcelo Garcia suffered a historic loss at the 2003 BJJ Worlds in the middleweight final. Who did him in? That's literally the wording. Who did him in, Adam? Who fucking got him, mate? Who did him in? And okay. All right, we have Cassio Werneck.
Terere. Fernando Terere.
Okay, you're going with D.
Yep.
But for those at home, you want to read it out? Give them the A, B, C, D.
I don't think this is Portuguese. Cassio Werneck, Ronaldo Jacaré, Gustavo Campos, Fernando Terere.
And you saying Terere?
Yeah.
I like Terere's style. You put me onto him very early, and that is correct.
Yes. Once I read the names, I was a bit worried that it was what was one of the other ones?
Well, we got the answers now. Flip to the answers page.
Once I read them, I wasn't sure if it was Jacaré.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, oh shit, but no, that's it's quite a famous fight, that Marcelo and Terere fight.
Okay, this is the final 2 questions of this quiz, and then we get on to some better questions. I promise.
Oh, there's 2 separate quizzes. So,
There's 3
okay.
separate quizzes.
3 quizzes.
There's 3 quizzes.
Holy fuck,
Yep.
we might have to do mine next to add some comic relief.
Yeah, these are shit. All right, that's why I wanted yours first. No. This first quiz is okay, but the next 2 are a lot better because I did a lot more on those. Okay, these 2 training partners decided to fight for real in the BJJ Worlds Final in 2003. Who are they? Alexandre Cafe and Delson Pay de Chumbo. Wow, what a name.
I'm just going to let you keep
Marcio Pedapano.
Yep, off you go. Yeah. Marcio Pedapano and Roger Gracie, Fernando Tereré and Ronaldo Jacare, Fabricio Verdum and Marcelo Coleta. Fuck, I have no idea. I'm just going to be taking a guess. B.
Yes, correct. Well
that
done.
was a complete guess. Yeah.
So that was Marcio Pedapano and Roger Gracie.
Yeah, you got that one. Good job.
It's not Roger, it's Roger. Okay.
Yeah, we spoke about Rogers and what we think about
Yeah,
them.
we don't like him.
Actually, speaking of Roger, Alex, who trains with us, just sent me a photo.
Of Roger?
Not of Roger, but he was it's just a photo of him out the front of Roger Gracie's gym because he's in London at the moment.
Oh, shit, I didn't know he's in London.
And
shout out to Alex.
it's actually, he went and trained on, most people know that Europe is having a hectic heat wave at the moment. He said that apparently it's the hottest day ever recorded in London. He went and trained. I don't know.
35?
Over 35, over 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit. That's hot.
Hopefully they have air conditioning, but he said Roger was actually there.
Oh, wow.
So that's cool.
That's sick. Okay. In 17 editions of the this is last question. In 17 editions of the BJJ Worlds, this man fought every single one as a black belt. Who is he? Hoyler Gracie, Wellington Megaton. What a name. Salo Ribeiro. Yes. That was pretty good. And Rodrigo Comprido.
Megaton.
Correct.
Yeah, so Megaton still, I believe, fights every year.
I don't even know who it is.
Megaton is, what's his bloody dad? Shit, man. We're going to need a Jamie soon.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Let me tell you, all the listeners that already know that are like, bro, his daughter is, what's his name? What's his
I get
name?
jiu-jitsu
Mackenzie
facts wrong.
Dern.
Ah.
Mackenzie Dern's dad.
Right. UFC fighter.
She does fight UFC or she does fight MMA.
I'm
But
pretty sure it's UFC.
But yeah, is also a black belt world champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe he still fights every year, not at Worlds, because now I'm not sure how old Megaton is now. What year was he born?
Is that his actual name?
No.
Oh. Disappointed.
Wellington Diaz is his name. Yeah, he still fights every year at the Masters Worlds. I think he's fought every single Worlds, I believe.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's a beast, bro.
All right. Do you want to go with your quiz and then we'll go with mine?
How many questions is that quiz?
Don't know. About the same, about 10.
All right, let's do mine.
All right.
Okay. So my quiz is, I have a list here of 10th planet jiu-jitsu moves and a list of different strains of weed. All right. I'm going to say 2 names and you have to tell me which is the 10th planet move and which is a strain of weed.
Is it weed or is it Eddie Bravo?
Yeah. I just want a little disclaimer first. These were just pulled up from Google. Like I have nothing against 10th Planet, but I've never trained their system, whatever you want to call it. I've never visited 10th Planet gym. I've never watched a 10th Planet instructional. So if there's any 10th Planet listeners and I say a name and they're like, that's not a move, I'm sorry. I'm also not like a weed connoisseur. So, but these were just after some digging.
Yeah. You're intermediate with weed.
Yeah, I'm like 2-stripe white belt. All right. So tell me, which of these is a strain of weed and which of these is a 10th Planet move?
Okay.
We've got Maui Wowie
Yep.
or Bermuda Triangle?
Maui Wowie sounds more weed-like to me, but I can see how they might have that like inspired by some sort of Hawaiian theme. I want to say Bermuda Triangle is the 10th planet move.
Correct.
Nice. Good start.
First one, off to a good start. All right. Which of these is a strain of weed? Which of these is the 10th planet move? Super glue, trickster.
Oh, that's hard. Super glue or trickster?
Yeah.
Fuck. Man, these 10th planet moves are crazy. Okay, so I'm going to say super glue or trickster. Fuck, that's really hard. Okay, I want to say that super glue is the 10th planet move.
Incorrect.
No.
Super glue is the weed.
Why would you want to be smoking super glue?
Trickster's the 10th planet move.
Oh,
all right.
Fuck, I thought it was some sort of guard hole or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking, fuck.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
All right. Weed or 10th planet? Deja vu, White Widow.
Oh, that's very hard. This is way harder than I thought. I thought it'd be easy.
Well, at least you got a 50-50 chance.
That's true. Okay, so all right, so we got White Widow
and Deja vu.
and Deja Vu. Okay, I'm gonna go along the lines of like thinking that the weed is Deja Vu because you get so high that you think, oh, has this happened before? You know, you have Deja Vu or like you're tripping out. So Deja Vu is the weed and White Widow, spider themed, is the 10th planet move.
Incorrect.
Oh, you're joking.
White Widow's the weed.
What is Deja Vu?
I don't fucking know, man. Don't ask me what these 10th planet moves are. I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
All right. Weed or 10th planet? Volcano vaporizer,
Yeah.
the exhumer.
Okay. I'm confident in this one. The volcano vaporizer has to be the weed.
Correct.
Yes. Oh,
Correct.
redemption.
I wasn't sure if you'd get that one because Nogi, Rob, and Brendan have been doing the vaporizer, which is like a 10th planet move.
Oh, shit.
They've got the vaporizer.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
I saw this strain of weed, the volcano vaporizer.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
I didn't even put that together.
All right. 10th planet or weed. Crocodile, palm mincer. I'm not making that up.
They have a move called the palm mincer.
Or it's a strain of weed. You don't know.
Okay, the palm mincer.
Yep. Or crocodile.
Crocodile has to be the weed. Palm mincer has to be some sort of wrist lock.
No.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me.
Crocodile is the 10th planet move.
Oh, what?
I don't know what it is.
Oh, shit. Okay.
All right. Next one. Green crack,
Yep.
baby wipe.
All right. I think if this one's wrong, I fucking quit, man. Green crack has got to be the weed, and baby wipe is the 10th planet move.
Yes, correct.
They called something baby wipe. What the fuck is
I don't
baby
know
wipe?
what the baby wipe move is.
Man,
Can
we need to
someone
look these up.
submit a video?
Yeah, submit a video of you hitting baby wipe on your coach.
All right. So how many through are we? We're 6 through.
Ooh.
So we got 4 left. You're 50-50. All right.
Okay.
Guantanamo, AK-47.
Guantanamo or AK-47. Okay. That's a hard one. AK-47. I think maybe that's some sort of like similar to like a shotgun armbar. Maybe they've just renamed it. Because I can imagine a world where an
But Guantanamo could also be like
a hold.
holding someone down against their will.
Yeah.
Taking away their rights.
Yeah, some sort of smother maybe, like waterboard. Fuck. I don't know. That's a good point.
Guantanamo, AK-47.
Guantanamo. Okay. You know what? I'm leaning toward AK-47 being the 10th planet move. So I'm going to flip it. I want to say that Guantanamo is the 10th planet move. AK-47 is the strain.
Correct.
Oh, thank God.
Whew. All right. Train wreck,
Mm.
snitch.
Train wreck or snitch? Snitch. Man, these names are weird. Shit. Okay. I want to say train wreck is the weed and snitch is the move.
Correct.
Nice. I'm getting
Correct.
the boys. Bring it home.
All right, 2 more. Silverado,
Silverado.
Black Diamond.
Black Diamond. All right. So Black Diamond is a very difficult run.
On like
ski slopes and
yeah.
mountain bike, downhill mountain bike, like any sort of downhill slope. So Black Diamond is a very difficult run. What was the other one? Sorry?
Silverado.
Silverado. That sounds like a weed to me. That sounds like a brand. But then again, all of them do.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to say Silverado is the weed and Black Diamond is the 10th planet move.
Incorrect.
Fuck. Silverado. That's so
last
weird.
one. If you get this one wrong, then you finish on 50-50. Right.
Fair enough. Which literally I could have just tossed the coin and got the same fucking result.
That's correct. Last one. T-Rex or Death Star.
Oh, man. Okay. I have a shirt that has a T-Rex on it and is jiu-jitsu themed from Jordan Teaches Jiu-Jitsu. So in honor of Jordan, and if I'm wrong, I'm going to blame Jordan. In honor of Jordan Teaches Jiu-Jitsu, I want to say that T-Rex is the jiu-jitsu move and Death Star is the weed.
That is incorrectly
God damn it,
correct.
Jordan.
No, it was correct. You got it.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Jordan.
All right. You got 6 out of 10.
Yes.
Bro, they have some whack ass names. So just to cap, let me
crazy.
just read out the 10th planet names.
Please.
I don't need to read out the weed strains. So the 10 planet moves that I found were Bermuda Triangle, Trickster, Deja Vu, the Exhumer, Crocodile, Baby Wipe, Guantanamo, the Snitch, Silverado, and T-Rex.
Nice. That was way harder than I thought. Maybe I'm just
it's complete 50-50.
Yeah,
like, I mean, if you don't,
absolutely ridiculous.
if you don't train 10th planet, you wouldn't. I mean, there's some more commonly known positions. Like if I put rubber guard in there, you would have known. If I put
I wonder
if I
which
put
is
the
it.
truck, the twister, there's some more famous
The electric
moves
chair,
/
banana split. I don't know
exactly.
what that says,
There's some more famous moves or positions or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got a whole bunch of other whack names. There we go.
All right.
Kieren, you passed.
Thank you.
You are now proficient in
10th planet sis. I'm now a 10th planet black belt.
10th
Thank you very much, Adam. I'll be taking over
taking
from here.
the no-gi classes from
Yep.
now on. Yep, thank you very much. All right, so back to one of your shitty quizzes.
Whoa. Settle down. This one's way better.
Before we go into that quiz, how'd you feel about last night? I cooked you a little bit.
Shit, this is this is out of nowhere. My back's pretty fucked.
Is it actually?
Yeah, my back's pretty fucked. But it was really sore going into that session. I heard it. Remember when I tapped randomly because I hurt my back? It was one of those random times. But I tried to explode out of a position. I think with Ollie, and I twisted my back really weird, and I tapped.
Remember.
I tapped during a sweep or some shit or whatever. And ever since then, I've tweaked it and it's just gotten worse and worse because I haven't rested it, blah, 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 blah. I was on bottom. I got fucking flayed out like a chicken fillet.
Yeah, so it was, you stood up in my closed guard.
Yep.
And then I did I don't know what the sweep's called, where you bicep grip the leg and you sweep straight to mount. But you quite explosively tried to continue that momentum and you ended up rolling and ending up turtling and I had a body triangle instead of hooks in. And then somehow from there, I don't think I actively flattened you out, but you ended up flat.
Yep.
Somehow. And then I was like, well, okay.
Yeah. And then, and then you can imagine on the bottom, flat as a tack, my face was smashing in the mat. Adam's got a body triangle and I was just getting cooked. I was just getting cooked. I was only there for a minute and a bit, but
it was quite funny because I was pushing my hip in a little bit, but I wasn't going. It wasn't a comp roll. I wasn't fully extending into the lower back. I wasn't digging my hand in across your forehead to lift your chin. I was trying to get a choke in, but not too much. And then I was like, okay, this is about as much as I want to
You could have
force into this
easily finished
position
me there.
because it's quite
Easily.
it's pretty freaking horrible position when someone fully extends into your lower back
Yeah.
like that. So I like kind of gradually, plus my like ankle was getting sore in the body triangle. And when I slowly released it, I didn't realize how much it was taxing you.
Yeah.
Like, obviously I know that's a shit spot, but I didn't realize how much it was costing you to be there.
Oh, yeah.
And when I let go of the body triangle, I was kind of expecting you to quickly explode and then all of a sudden me end up in your half guard or something like that. But you kind of just like really sort of went like,
slowly like crawled into a fetal position.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
thank you.
Rolled into a fetal position. I was like, okay, I'll take you back then.
Yeah,
you know,
you did. Yeah, it was fucked. And then the rest of the session I just spent on bottoming out.
Yeah.
Although,
Although, you know, it was funny.
Like
then when
7
we
minutes.
stood up after that, because then I took you back and just did a collar choke or something.
Yeah.
And then when we stood up, man, on that body triangle and my hooks when I was on your back cost my hamstrings so much that when we stood up, I had like jelly legs. I remember you tried to shoot on something and I almost couldn't even move my leg. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm still a bit tweaked, man.
Just take some endone and you're right. Training tonight. It'll be sweet.
Yeah, I was so depressed because then I had two pretty tough rolls and I just spent like 7-minute rounds. So I spent 14 minutes.
Who did you go with after me?
I went with Ollie and then Ads. So I spent the whole time with both of them just on bottom mount, just protecting my neck.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole
you
time.
You had a bad day yesterday.
I had a fucking bad day. Yeah, I was like, I couldn't even escape because I couldn't bridge properly.
Yeah.
So I couldn't explode out. Anyway, enough of that. Next quiz. we had to take like an interlude, just talking shit about my jiu-jitsu being really bad.
You can go for redemption tonight, bro.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna butcher some names, baby.
Yeah,
all right, follow along at home.
I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, let me do it. Let me fuck it up. Follow along at home and let us know.
Wait, hang on. Did I pass the first quiz? Was I?
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't tally.
I just need a 50% pass mark.
So we had 10 questions. You got 1, 2, 5. Yeah, you got 7 out of 10.
Yeah, boy.
You smashed it. All right, we'll see how you go on this one.
Is it 10 questions as well?
I don't know. Probably. We'll figure it out. Okay. How did the fight between Mashiko Kimura and Helio Gracie end? You have multiple choice. You have either A, victory for Kimura by technical knockout. B, victory for Kimura by submission. C, victory for Helio Gracie by triangle choke. D, victory for Gracie by technical knockout. Or D, they fought to a draw. How did it end? Kimura versus Gracie.
Didn't even know this fight happened. Kimura technical knockout.
Correct. That's very good. Do you know the story behind it?
Not 100%. No. Tell us, is that what the green text is?
Yes. I just noticed that you can read this, so I'm going to like keep it.
Educate the people, Kieren.
Okay, so here's a little the blurb that goes with it. After reportedly throwing Helio in an attempt to cause a concussion, Kimura finally threw him with a sotogari and applied a gaku udu garami. No idea what that is. Now referred to as a Kimura shoulder lock. That's what that is, people. That is the Japanese for shoulder lock. Helio did not tap to the attack, but after hearing bones breaking, Helio's brother Carlos threw in the towel, conceding the fight, and therefore victory for Kimura by technical knockout.
Well,
apparently broke his arm.
There
you go.
What
right, this one's super easy. We'll breeze through it. Don't disappoint me. Which martial art is most closely related to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Kung Fu.
Correct.
Yes.
Aikido, Judo, MMA, Sambo, or wrestling?
Judo.
Yes, correct.
But, you know, it's funny, like, because I could, well, I mean, you could argue nowadays almost wrestling.
Yeah,
right?
you could. Yeah. You could also argue Aikido.
For sure.
Attack me with your spirit. Okay. When International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, otherwise known as the IBJJF, was created. So when was IBJJF created? When was it created? It's very, very important emphasis on created, okay? No idea what I'm saying. Okay, you have the option of 1991, 1993, 1996, 1998, or 2001.
Fuck. I don't know.
IBJJF. created? When?
To 93.
Was that your final answer?
Yeah, why not?
Unfortunately, that was incorrect. It was 1996.
I just said 93 because it's the year Alliance was created. So I just kind of took it.
There you go.
Not that they are synonymous, but I just thought like, well, I've got no other sort of references to when it was. So I'll just go with that year.
Yeah, fair enough. Originally called.
I thought maybe, because I thought maybe Alliance was formed in that year in part for needing it to be like officially formed in that year to be able to compete in IBJJF that was also formed that year. I wasn't sure. That's how I kind of got there. But anyway.
There you go. So here's a little history lesson. Originally called the Confederacio.
Close enough.
Yeah, okay. Brasilia era? What the fuck?
Yep,
the
close
Jiu Jitsu?
Close enough.
Portuguese. The organization was founded in 1996. In 2002, the tournament went international and renamed itself IBJJF.
Let me read out the words.
Yeah, please do. Nice and loud.
Confederação Brasileira de Jiu-Jitsu.
That's what I said, bro. Come on.
Yeah, the Brazilian Confederation, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Confederation.
Nice.
Is what that would translate to.
Or a confederacy. Okay. Next question. Ooh, more names. Apologies in advance. Who was the first woman to be awarded a black belt in BJJ?
Oh, shit. What a great question.
Durate? Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
Cynthia Omatsu, Cindy Hales, or Kyra Gracie?
Kyra Gracie's not the first female black belt. She couldn't be.
It was Kyra.
She couldn't be.
Do you want the names again?
No, but she's the only name there I've heard of. But surely she can't be. But whatever. Kyra Gracie?
Kyra Gracie is incorrect. Yeah. It was Yvonne.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't Kyra because Kyra's not that. I don't know how old she is, but she's like 30 something.
Oh, right.
Like
very young.
she's not.
Yeah.
But it's the only name there I knew.
Fair enough.
What year was that?
Have a listen. So, Yvonne was the first woman to achieve the rank of black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. She was promoted by Master Osvaldo Alves in October of 1990. Apologies to that master. Knowing how to pronounce his name.
He won't know you're talking about him. He can't understand what you're saying.
He's probably not around anymore. All right. All right, here's a good one. Okay. When translated into English from Japanese, jiu-jitsu means ... the gentle art, the art of being like water, ground art, ultimate fighting art.
Oh, shit. I actually don't know from like Japanese to English. What were my options again? I mean, jiu-jitsu is known as the gentle art. Like in Portuguese, that would be arte suave is what they say, like the suave art, the gentle art.
Yeah. So when translated
from Japanese to English,
or just when you translate it from Japanese, what does it mean in Japanese?
What were my options again? I don't know if it's arte suave, but
so
anyway.
It's the gentle art, the art of being like water, ground art, and ultimate fighting art.
I don't know. Let's go with ground art.
Let's break it down. Okay. It's actually the gentle art.
Oh, it is.
Actually is the gentle art.
I didn't know. Japanese needs some work.
Yeah, fair enough. So jiu-jitsu allows the opponent the option to tap in submission and emerge from a fight relatively unharmed. Sports like boxing only allow victory by bludgeoning your opponent until they either choose not to continue or cannot continue. Therefore, jiu-jitsu is the gentle art.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean, obviously I knew jiu-jitsu is referred to as the gentle art, but I didn't know if it came from the Portuguese arte suave or whether it came from the Japanese.
Maybe the Portuguese. Yeah. Well, obviously the Portuguese came from the Japanese.
That's right. Yeah.
Now we know.
There
you go. Now you know as well, everyone listening. Okay, next question.
Listeners are like, worth it.
Oh, shit. Okay, next question. We're absolutely plowing through these. A bit too quickly, actually. This is a bit too quick. I thought this would take longer, but fuck it. Here we go. Helio Gracie trained well into his 80s. What color belt did he wear in the final years of training? Your options are white, blue, purple, brown, black, coral.
I think he wore a white belt in his last years.
Okay. He wore a blue belt.
Oh, really?
The answer is blue, yes. And for those that are very confused, like, what the hell? He's not a blue belt? Listen to this. Originally, BJJ only had 2 belts, white and blue, with blue reserved for instructors. And I think in the later years of Helio Gracie's training, that is when they started to implement the blue belt system, like for instructors. So they needed to differentiate between instructors and everyone else. That's why they had white and blue belts. So in old photos, you'll see them all wearing blue belts.
Oh, well, there you
It's
go.
really interesting. And then they brought in the multicolored belt system to be more mainstream and to start to effectively sell Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and make it more, more aligned with what was already happening in other martial arts like karate and things like that. And I think they had I can't remember the year, but the Gracies did have some sort of like conference. They had like a big meeting where they decided on the belt progression, the colored belts, and et cetera. And then years later after that, I think they added coral and red belts.
Well, there you go.
A little bit of trivia. I think I got that from a book. I don't know. I read sometimes. Okay.
This quiz is full of educational
I
tidbits.
told you this one was better.
It was
like
way
pronouncing.
better.
All right. Oh, here's a good one. Who was the first Gracie to teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the USA? You have Carly Gracie, Royce Gracie, Horion Gracie, Helio Gracie.
Horion.
No.
Fuck.
That's incorrect. It was Carly Gracie. Carly Gracie was the first person to teach BJJ in the USA in what year? For bonus point, you can redeem. I'll give you the correct answer if you can get the year.
Is it in the 80s or the 90s? 70s.
I'm like, neither.
60s?
No, it was 70s. 70s. Well, you have a 1 in 10 shot now. Oh, 1 in 9. Math.
78.
72.
God damn it, Kieren, this quiz is bullshit.
Yeah. And if you can get where, I'll give you No, you'll never get this. It's Quantico, Virginia.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get that. Quantico.
Yeah. Quantico. Fuck, I even looked up how to pronounce that. Fuck. I fucked it. I literally YouTube.
Up until now, you had just been mispronouncing Portuguese. Now
English
is getting better of you.
I actually YouTubed Quantico to try and like learn to pronounce it because I was like, how the fuck do you pronounce that? And I still fucked it on air. I do try, people. It's harder than it looks. Okay, next question. Which Gracie member won the first 2 UFC events?
Royce.
Yeah, you got it. And for those that, we already gave the answer, but it was Royce. The options were Royce Gracie, Hickson Gracie, Hodger Gracie, and Cron Gracie. Is that how you? Yeah, Cron Gracie. Okay, so Royce defeated his. This is really.
And back then, for those, I don't know if you've got the information in there, but yeah, it wasn't like UFC now where you just have the one fight.
Yeah.
It was like a bracket, so you had multiple fights in the one
night. Yeah,
in the one night.
If you haven't seen the original UFC, I think you should watch it. It's a fucking blast from the past. It's really cool. So he beat Jimison, Shamrock, Gordeau to win UFC 1, and he continued to dominate, defeating Ichihara, DeLucia, and Pardo and Patrick Smith in UFC 2. I think he was meant to fight Shamrock again.
There was one where he chose not to continue. I remember him saying, like, man, this is fucking bullshit. Too many fights in one night.
Yeah.
And there were no weight divisions either, right? And Royce is a small dude.
Yeah, exactly. There was one like that, but it was interesting. But he continued to fight well into like the UFC. Actually forming mixed martial arts and getting the gloves and you know, when it was a little bit more like what we see today. So we continued to fight. Okay. Oh, here's one for you. Here's one. I just found one. Who is the creator of the Gracie diet? Is it Carlos Gracie, Kieren Gracie, Helio Gracie, or Royce Gracie?
Horion's not an option there?
Yeah, Horion, sorry.
Horion. Yeah, I believe it's...
Yeah, Horion.
I don't know. I believe it's Horion.
No. It is Carlos Gracie.
Fuck you, Carlos. What do you know, bro? You dead.
Well, funny you mentioned that. Take a listen to this. Carlos Gracie, the creator of the Gracie diet, was not a nutritionist.
And shortly died after implementing said diet.
All of the research that he did was tested either on himself or his family members. He developed the Gracie diet so his brothers would not get sick.
Good job, Carlos. Do you know much about the Gracie diet?
I know a little bit because I get asked about it a lot. I've never followed it, but I have read into it and read what it teaches and
you've read enough to know it's full of shit, which is why you don't follow it.
Yeah, mate. Like totally.
So for the listeners who don't know anything about the Gracie diet, give us I'll give you the rundown. In a nutshell.
Yep. So the rundown of the Gracie diet in a very quick summary is it's basically a diet that tries to follow along with like belt progression. Like you go, okay, at a white belt level, you implement these things first. At a blue belt level, then you can progress to these things and do all the white belt things, purple belt, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like they sort of structure it like that to make it fun and engaging. And it's ridiculous. It's things like only drink water with lemon juice as your drinks, only do this, only do that. It's just
isn't a lot of it about like what it's not necessarily you can't eat this food or you can't eat this food. It's like, but you can't eat them together.
Oh, it's silly.
Because I know there's a lot of that. Like this like for example, I believe this is in the Gracie diet. I could be wrong, but I believe that this is in it because I remember in Brazil people not following or just saying the Gracie diet's bullshit because of this one thing. So in Portuguese, like arroz e feijão, like rice and beans, it's like your bread and butter or whatever would be the similar expression. But it's also like it's more than a staple in like rice and beans. I don't know what would the Australian equivalent be of like a staple of food that fucking every single
bangers and mash, mate. Not even.
Yeah, not even right. Like it's
bangers are sausages for the Americans.
Yes, that's right. Rice and beans, like man, it's more than a staple. Rice and beans in Portuguese food is just, I don't know. It would be, it's just everyone has rice and beans. And I believe in the Gracie diet, you can't eat rice and beans together. Like, it doesn't even, it almost makes no sense, bro. So I know that's one of the things about the Gracie diet. It's a lot of certain foods that you're allowed to eat. You just can't eat them together.
Yeah.
I think another one is like, you can't have acai and banana together, but like people always put banana on their acai.
Yeah. You know? It's silly. Like I do, the details of it are escaping me. I did do some sort of like spiel on it a while ago in one of my nutrition videos, I think. So I did look into it then. And I remember just laughing the whole time. Like this is, obviously if you follow it, if you're eating a standard American diet and you're eating like shit and you're eating like a pig and then you go on the Gracie diet, you're going to feel better, bro. Yeah. Because you're eating better. Yeah. But in terms of like it actually being a legitimate approach to nutrition, nah, bro. Nah. It's like, it's not, hey. But if it helps people, then fuck it. I'm supportive of it. If you follow the Gracie diet and no other diet, I like it.
Yeah. Like you said, if you're eating like shit and then you go to any other diet, like, I don't know, maybe you're eating like shit and then you go to this diet that says, don't eat sugar and give yourself an enema once a day. You'll be like, this diet's the best. Yeah, this diet's the best. I feel great.
Yeah, get that coffee enema up your ass. But honestly, that's exactly it. So the best nutrition plan is like the one you're going to follow, unless it's like eat like shit. So yeah, that's my approach on it. It's the same with carnivore, because I get messaged by jiu-jitsu guys a lot like, oh, what do you think of carnivore MD? Or what do you think of this diet or that diet or this fad diet? And my response to the carnivore specifically, but generally most of these diets, is that it works for some people. Like take carnivore, for example. It actually has been shown to help people with autoimmune issues. So if you are one of those people, it can be good for you. The reason that it helps with those conditions is because it's an elimination diet. An elimination diet eliminates everything that is potentially harmful to people in your diet. Like things that may be harmful to you that might not be harmful to me, might be something along the lines of, I don't know, like mushrooms or nightshades or things like that. Maybe they're very inflammatory for you, but they're fine for me. By doing an elimination diet, you would eliminate all those potential harmful foods, air quotes, and then you reintroduce the food slowly to see exactly what is bad for you or good for you, right? So something like carnivore is an enforced elimination diet. It takes away everything, but it doesn't add anything back. Like it just doesn't have the second stage of the elimination diet, right?
I know someone who pretty much lives with a carnivore diet, and he said he's used to it now. I guess if it works for him, yeah, cool. But he said in the beginning it was pretty hard, like to, I don't know, always eat like steak for breakfast and stuff like that.
Yeah. But the important thing about carnivore that people forget is a lot of the authentic carnivore, supporters, they talk about the significance of organ meats. That is pretty much the most important part about carnivore diet is eating a lot of organ meats. So predominantly that's what you're eating. Yeah, you're eating steak every now and then, but you're eating like organ meats on the daily. So I'm talking heart, liver, especially liver is what they eat. They call it the nose to tail approach. However, as carnivore has become more popular, people don't want to fucking eat liver because it tastes like shit. Like I've eaten a lot of liver in my day and it tastes like shit, right?
I don't like it. Some people like it. My wife likes it.
Oh man, it's just too strong. Like beef liver is so strong. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what they eat mostly, and that's where they get a lot of their missing vitamins and minerals from not eating anything but meat. Comes from the organ meats, and that is the most important part of it. But people don't want to do that. So if you just eat ribeye steak, you're not actually following the true carnivore diet. You're really not. You're just eating steak, bro.
I mean, I think the evidence is pretty clear. Carlos created the Gracie diet, and he's dead. So from that, my deduction is that it's no good.
If you eat like him, you would not. Anyway, okay. The last one on this quiz before we get to the other quiz is, this one will be very easy. What country was the famous no-gi competition ADCC first held in? Australia, Brazil, Spain, United Arab Emirates, or United States of America?
I've got to assume it's the US.
No, it's UAE.
Oh, sorry. What were the UAE? Is it?
You said US.
Yeah, I thought it was because I thought, it's like, the
because I don't know stands for Abu Dhabi, doesn't it?
Fuck, maybe. I don't know. I actually don't know what ADCC stands for.
Yeah. I think it's Abu Dhabi Combat Championship or something like that. Let's look it up.
There you go.
That's what I thought.
The more you know. I was not good at this quiz, Kieren.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just thought because the hub of the guys there are all in the US.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I kind of thought like, I guess the first event was probably in the US.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I can see where you're coming from that. Yeah, it's Abu Dhabi Combat Club. So I was a little bit wrong, but I got the Abu Dhabi right. Yeah, it was UAE.
Abu Dhabi. Well, that makes more sense. I guess if I knew that's what it stood for, I probably would have.
If you knew anything about jiu-jitsu, then these quizzes would be a lot easier.
If I was more up to date with my initialisms, I would have gotten it.
Okay, let's see what you got. I got to count how many questions in that quiz first. So,
okay.
2, 3.
I didn't get
4,
many.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it's 10 again. Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't get 5.
Got
right?
1, 2, 3. You got 3.
Fuck.
You got 3.
Wait,
bro.
but if we combine that with the last quiz where I got 7, I'm 10 out of 20. So I'm 50-50.
Okay, I'll give you
if
that.
we combine the 2 quizzes.
Okay.
I feel a bit annoyed I didn't get that ADCC one now.
I have one more quiz, and then we have but first I have a bonus question to throw at you.
Oh, wait. Okay, bonus question. Redemption.
Okay. Why do jiu-jitsu players say us?
Do you have like an official answer for this?
Yes.
Okay. I know that because people ask you frequently enough who are new to jiu-jitsu, like, what does us mean? Why do people say us?
Yeah.
When do I say us? And if you do enough jiu-jitsu all the time, when you go to the supermarket, and the person at the register says, thank you, and you say us, you're like, fuck. Why? Wait, so what was the question? Why do jiu-jitsu people say it?
Yeah, why do people in jiu-jitsu say us?
Well, I mean, I could tell you why, but it's probably not going to match up with like the Google definition.
Please tell me.
But I know that in a lot of Japanese martial arts, particularly in karate, I know us is a thing that they say a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what is the official reason people say us, but when people ask me what's it mean, why do people say us, it's like a form of affirmation, really. Like, but as anyone listening would know, that people use it, at least in jiu-jitsu, as a way to a term to acknowledge something, a term to agree with something. Yeah, it's like a positive affirmation sort of gesture.
Totally. Yeah, you're spot on. That's correct.
Is that like with the Google
Yeah, I'll
definition
read
as
it,
well?
but yeah, that's totally correct. But one thing, how do you spell us?
Yeah, is it OSS or is it just one S?
I have OSS here, but I've seen people spell it OOS. I've seen no, exactly. I've seen it spelled OSU.
No,
like karate people.
Oh yes, I believe.
OSU.
Yeah, I believe they do. Yeah,
us, but they pronounce it us.
Yeah,
like whenever GSP has a post and he has us, it's spelled OSU. Yeah,
I believe I've seen that, like from the because GSP being from a karate background.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely OSS, at least in Portuguese.
Yes. Yeah.
Us.
Okay, so Hudus. You remember Hudus?
What is Hudus?
I think I played this to you off air, but it's like a guy, an Australian guy called Spanian. He's rose to fame in like the last 12 months or so. He was a lad, like a typical lad. Went to prison, like a from the hood, but like in Australia. So yeah, from Western Sydney or something. And he has this rap song called Hudus. And he trains martial arts, and it's like everything's hudus, bro. Anyway,
what about? Do you remember Trent from Punchy?
Yeah, Trent from Punchy. That's hilarious.
So I got the bonus question, so I'm back in the green. That gives me 11 out of 20. All right.
Yeah, well, that's true because this is a bonus one, so this doesn't count.
All right, so are we starting a whole new quiz?
We are, but I want to read out what I googled about us. There are many Brazilian jiu-jitsu schools that use the term us as well as other martial arts. As a martial arts practice, us was originally used to invite a training partner to practice, yelled to invoke one's ki, vital energy or spirit, before an attack or combat, just as the samurais do. Us. I'm about to attack you.
You could have you remember the scene from Dude, Where's My Car? And they're asking what the tattoo says.
Yeah.
And they're going back and forth. You could have a us conversation like that.
Yeah.
Because it's all in the...
Did we post that on Instagram once?
I don't think so.
I think we did.
Maybe. But it's all about it's all about where you put the stress on the question, right? Like, do I say us or do I go us? 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 Us?
It's like you teach a fucking technique. Yeah, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Everyone got it? Us?
Us? It reminds me of like when I was, it was my first trip to Brazil. I can't remember if it was the first trip there or if we had just moved there, but either way, I didn't really speak much Portuguese. And Hanada had dropped me off. I don't know if people will find this funny. Any listeners who are Brazilian or speak Portuguese will probably find it funny because whenever I tell this anecdote to Brazilians, they find it quite hilarious. That when I first moved there or was the first trip there, I didn't speak a lot of Portuguese. So I was at the point where any sort of contractions or abbreviations in the language were pretty lost on me. Like I needed to if someone said there instead of they are, it was a bit too much for me at that stage. And I was getting a lot of dental work done because for those who don't know, dental in Australia is absurdly expensive and dog shit. Whereas in Brazil, it's really good and affordable. I remember the dentist in Brazil literally said, "Who was your previous dentist? This looks like it was done by a monkey," is literally what he said. Wow. Dental in Australia is a joke and super expensive. In Brazil, it's really good. And I mean, it's still expensive if you earn Brazilian currency. But anyway, actually, for any international listeners, also to put that into perspective, dental is such a joke in Australia that there are people you can actually book. I don't know how COVID has affected this, but let's go pre-COVID times. You could book a dental holiday in Thailand. Like you could book a whole travel plan where you would fly to Thailand, have your accommodation, get all your dental work done, stay in a resort and all that, and fly back, and it would still be cheaper than getting the dental work done in Australia.
Wow.
My brother did it. And you can even do it. And these are often Australian dentists living in Thailand. It's not like in the back of some shack.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, what's this dental entail? Like,
no, like one of my friends who unfortunately is, passed away years ago, but one of my friends had done it and my brother did it. And you can even, if you want, you can book it where your dental work gets done at like 1 a.m. or something. So then you kind of, messes with your sleep a little bit, but you don't have to spend your daytime holiday time.
Crazy,
yeah,
man.
and it's still cheaper than getting the work done here.
Wow, that's crazy. You rock up plastered.
Yeah. Anyway, I was going back to the whole like wuss conversation. I was getting dental work done. So my wife had dropped me off and she was like, when you're finished, the receptionist will call me and then I'll know that you're done and I'll pick you up at this predetermined spot, right? And so anyway, I finished my appointment and the dentist was like, oh, Hanata, my wife, he goes, Hanata, jatala. And I was like, I thought that was one word, which it's not right. And I'm like, and I look at her and I go, jatala. Like, and she goes, jatala. I'm like, jatala. And like, cause I thought it sounded French and I'm like, and I'm kind of asking, what is jatala? I'm like, jatala. And like, it's an abbreviation of ella ja está la, which means she's already there, right? So this lady's going, the receptionist is going, oh, Hanada's already there, like the predetermined spot. And I'm like, she's already there? She's like, yeah, she's already there. I'm like, she's already there? Yeah, she's already there. I'm like, she's already there. She's like, yeah, she's already there. Because I was like, jatala, what is jatala? Jatala.
Stupid?
She's like, yeah, jatala. And it went back and forth until eventually it was like, oh, ella ja está la. Because I couldn't handle the contractions in the language.
Man, that's funny.
Yeah. I'll tell you while we're on the story of funny anecdotes, I'll tell you another one when it was like the first trip or we'd just moved there or something. And yeah, so I was relatively new to Portuguese and we were at like, not a party, party's not the right word, but we were at my brother-in-law's house and we're having like a gathering or whatever. And I was sitting in the lounge room so I wasn't married at this stage, but was sitting in the lounge room with my future father-in-law and eating this Brazilian food called coxinha, right? And it's like a deep fried chicken thing.
Nice.
And I turned to him and I said, what I wanted to say was, eu gosto de coxinha, which means I like coxinha.
Yeah.
Is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But because I was relatively new, it was quite easy to mix up words. And instead of saying I like coxinha, I said I like calcinha, which you can imagine for someone who doesn't speak the language like you, coxinha, calcinha sounds pretty similar.
Yeah.
So what I actually said was, instead of saying I like
the chicken dish.
I like the deep fried chicken thing, I turned to imagine, I took a bite, I turned to my future father-in-law and I said, I like women's underwear, which is what calcinha means. And he's like, what? And I'm like, and then I point to it and I'm like, women's underwear? And he's like, no. No, bro.
Yeah. I've had similar, I think anyone learning a language
you're
going to do shit like that. I've had similar sort of experiences, but less funny in Swedish because my fiance is Swedish and trying to talk to her family, I mix things up and say the complete wrong thing. And they're like, it leads to humorous times.
I also said to this dude once who also spoke English, was trying to have a conversation about like different swear words in English and in Portuguese. And then I essentially said to him, instead of saying something along the lines of, because there's a word in Portuguese it's like the same word for cock or dick, but it's also used to say in the same way that we would use the word fuck.
Yeah.
Like you can use, like, people will, if you're training in the gym and like, they're pissed off or they get hurt or something, they'll yell it out. They'll yell out like cock or like fuck, right?
That's funny. Yeah.
that I essentially said to this dude, which not that it's important to the story, but was quite flamboyantly gay. And I said to him, I was like, I like dick. but what I meant to say was like, oh, I like using the swear word. Cock.
Sure, you did.
And he was like, you probably don't want to say it like that.
That's so funny.
I'm going to throw this out there.
Yeah.
We could edit this out. I don't care. Leave it in there. Let's get some more caffeine into us before we do this third quiz.
We'll be right back. And we're back with coffee.
Coffee and I guess, well, by the time you're listening to this, I guess not breaking news, but it is to us. Yeah. So there was a question on the quiz. The question was what?
So who was the first woman to be awarded a black belt in BJJ?
Yeah, and the correct answer was
Yvonne Duarte. And if you recall back when I was reading it out, I said Yvonne Duarte was the first woman to achieve the rank of black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and she was promoted by Master, I still don't know it, Osvaldo Alves.
And then Kieren
in
was
October
like,
1990.
Yeah, Kieren was like, I was like, oh, close enough. He's like, yeah, fucking whatever. You know, screwed the pronunciation, blah, blah, blah.
He's probably not around.
And then while we were making coffee, it's just come up on my Instagram that, IBJJF has just posted expressing their condolences. Osvaldo Alves has very sadly passed away. And I mean, it's not funny at all. It's just funny that it was right when Kieren made
that joke. It's really, really distasteful.
Laugh but not cry. Yeah, 1938 to 2022.
So my condolences and apologies.
Osvaldo Alves, unfortunately.
Just bad timing for the quiz.
Yeah, bad timing for the quiz. We can look at the positive. Kieren now knows that his name is pronounced Osvaldo Alves.
Alves. Okay. What coffee are we drinking, Adam?
Let me tell you, Kieren. So, one of my students, Terrence, Tez Dog, no one calls him that.
Tez Dog.
Brought us back some coffee from Bali. And I didn't know this. Kieren was just like, we got to tell people what the coffee is about. And I started reading it after drinking some of the coffee. And let me tell you what this coffee is about.
Read the coffee.
It's called Luwak coffee. The Luwak coffee comes from Bali, which is known for its excellent coffee. In the area, there's a little animal called a Paradoxurus. The locals call them Luwaks, the Luwak coffee. These little mammals live in trees. One of their favorite foods, Kieren, take a guess what it is.
Coffee.
Yes, it's the red ripe coffee cherry. These little fellas, they eat the cherries, bean and all. While the bean's in the little guy's stomach, this is on the back of the box, by the way. While the bean's in the little guy's stomach, it undergoes chemical treatment and fermentations. I think people can know where this is going. The bean finishes its journey through the digestive system and exits. The still intact beans, guess what they do? They collect them from the forest floor and are cleaned, then roasted and ground just like any other. The coffee has a rich, heavy flavor with hints of caramel or chocolate.
That ain't chocolate.
Other terms to describe Luwak coffee are earthy, musky, and exotic. The body is almost syrupy, and it is very smooth. We're drinking poop coffee, Kieren.
We're drinking poop coffee.
Kieren says it's no good.
No, I wouldn't say it's no good. I think I agree that I think that
tastes like poop.
It's very musky. I get that. When it says musky, I totally get that. It's got a strong flavor.
Well, Kieran's drinking it just like a long black. I've got mine with almond milk in it. So it's just coffee. Kieran's face just then.
It's got an afterburn.
It's just kind of coffee for me. It's fine. I get it. I mean,
it's all right.
We can leave it here. I'm not going to take it home.
I like it.
Leave the
It's
coffee.
mine. Terrence gave it to me. That was for us. It's for the podcast.
But anyway.
Thanks, Terrence. You're a legend, mate.
Thanks, Tez. We can now say we've drank coffee poop.
Yeah, it's great.
Poop coffee.
Poop coffee. Okay, so are you ready for the third and final quiz? Or technically it's the fourth. It's the final quiz.
Yeah. Well, so I'm only 11 out of 20. So how many questions are in this quiz? 10 again?
No, it's like 14.
What the fuck?
Or maybe
Okay.
13. I counted earlier. I think it's 13 or 14. I'll count again.
Okay, so I'm just going for a 50% pass mark here. This
Okay.
is,
You're not going to get 50%. If you even get like, you might get some of these, but if you get 50%, you win. Let me put it this way. These should be, yeah, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. So if you get more than 50% on this quiz, I'll be super impressed.
Okay, let's go.
And this is the Beyond Jiu-Jitsu podcast quiz.
Holy shit. I didn't study for this.
So this one is actually good for the listeners to follow along. If you've been following along with the quizzes,
It's going to be all like metrics and shit that only you know. Look at his face. It is.
Right. Well, it is going to be shit that I pulled up in the metrics. Some stuff you should know. Some stuff is just fun. Okay. So the first question should be easy. Speaking of firsts, who was the first guest on the show? Bonus for what episode? So you get 1 point for the guest, and 1 point for the episode number.
Hang on, let me just open Spotify.
And you're not allowed to, I want to grab your phone. And your phone is with me for the duration.
First guess was JT.
Yep.
Episode was it 31?
Ooh, very close. It was James,
29.
And it was 29. Yeah, but you said 31.
I knew it was around the 30 Ask a Black Belt.
Yeah, that's what you're good.
God damn it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So it was JT. So shout out to JT. If you haven't listened to that, check it out. JT is a very fascinating personality in the jiu-jitsu space. So definitely have a listen.
Back on episode 29, bonus point.
So that is 1 for a potential 2 thus far. Okay, what is our most popular episode? Bonus, what is the second most popular?
Oh, do I get multiple choice?
Nope.
I get nothing.
Nothing.
It was, I could tell you what type of episode it was. Do I get half a point?
I'll give you half a point, depending on how.
Was one of the like,
if you get the title. If you get the title.
Was one of the like top 5 or like, need to know 5 submissions or something for a white belt?
I'll give you half a point for that. That's good enough. That's good enough. And can you get the second most popular?
Most common. I believe it would also be one of those like advice for white belt ones, I think, because they do really well with our listeners. Like most common mistakes.
Man, you're really close. So the most popular episode is episode number 18, and it's top 10 most important advice to a white belt from a BJJ black belt is the actual title. Okay. So I gave you half a point for that. And the second most popular is episode number 1.
Really? Our first episode?
Our very first episode.
Really?
Yeah, because when people find the show, they normally go back to episode 1. A lot of people do. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So we have a few thousand listens of episode 1, and but episode number 18 is the most popular.
I was in the ballpark. Mm-hmm. I think I earned that half a point.
Yeah, I think you earned it. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
I like this quiz. It's good.
Thank you. This is obviously mine. Okay, so here's a really good one. I like this question. What is the longest episode, not including this one? Bonus, how long is it?
The longest episode.
So what is the longest episode of the Beyond Jiu-Jitsu podcast? And a bonus point for how long is it?
73 minutes.
Fuck, no. And what episode is it?
Oh, don't know. I know it wasn't. The episode with Joey, we had to cut short, but could have gone really long. Is it that episode, the episode with Joey?
Is that your final guess?
Yeah, why not? That was a long episode.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well done. It was 1 hour and 24
Oh, was
minutes.
it? Oh, shit.
Yes.
So
when you said 70, you said 73?
Yeah. So
yeah, you're off by 11.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's close, man. It was close. Gotta hold this up.
I'm doing better than you thought I would.
Fucking way better. You're doing better than I would do, probably.
It's the poop coffee.
It's the poop coffee. Keeps your brain sharp. All right. And the next question for those following along. This sounds good. What is the worst episode of the Beyond Jiu-Jitsu podcast? There is only one answer.
The worst.
It's not even subjective. There can only be one answer. I'll give you half
as
a
in
point.
the metric, as in the
No. As in like what is? It's not even the worst metric wise, but what is just our shittest episode?
Is it the one episode 50 where we were like, don't listen to this episode?
Correct.
Yeah.
2 points. One for the number and one for the title. Dude, you're killing this. You're doing way better than I thought. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Until this episode,
this
this will then be this will be the second worst episode.
Yeah,
no, it'll be the
correct.
worst because it's twice as long as well. People will be like, fuck episode 100.
Not only is it shit, but it's fucking shitter for longer. All right. All right. Next question. Man, we got to slow this down. You were knocking this out of the park. All right. Oh, here's one. You should get this. Who did the very first intro for the podcast?
I feel like I got a 50-50 shot. But I feel like I'm kind of cheating with this one because it's not like I was looking to get answers, but like when the paper was there, I saw my name was written on the paper at some stage. And I was like, I wonder what question the answer is Adam.
Fair enough. Yep.
So
all right.
I'm going to honestly say that let's take that question.
You can have a point because of honesty.
Oh,
that is
man.
true. You did the intro. It was my fault. I should have hidden the answers.
One time when I was a kid, I something like, oh, it's gonna make me sound like a piece of shit kid, but I'm sure a lot of kids like, especially the age when I was a kid, you know, a couple of dollars or whatever could buy you a lot of candies, right?
Yeah, right.
So I stole a couple of dollars from my dad.
Yeah.
And then what happened again? Like something happened where I was like, oh, here, Dad, I found this. This is yours. I can't, like, let's say I took like $4 from him or something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, here, Dad, I found this. This is yours. You lost it. And I gave him back $2 or something like that. And then he was like, oh, you can keep it because of your honesty. And I was it was like this, like, I felt so guilty because then I like had
because it was
full
dishonest. It was guilt money. Take your blood money, Adam.
Yeah.
Buy your candies. I hope they taste sweet. You sick bastard.
Yeah, and I did.
All right. Okay, going back to the first episode. What did you, Adam, introduce me, Kieren, as on the first episode? What was I introduced as? Or who was I introduced as?
You would have been introduced as a white belt, ex-competitive bodybuilder.
That's the resume. I'm more thinking a name. Who did you introduce me as?
So I didn't say your name?
Or maybe you did. That could be an answer.
Did I call you well, I would have said, if I introduced you with any credibility, I would have at least said at some stage Kieren Lefebvre. But if not,
the question
Special
was,
K?
what did you first introduce me as?
Special K?
Correct. Special K.
Yes.
That was pretty easy because you knew that because it was a question, it wasn't going to be Kieren because that would be stupid.
Yeah. But then again, I don't know.
It could be a trick question. But yeah, you introduced me as Special K. And then I came in and said, also known as Kieren. That was the introduction.
Well, there you go.
Yes. Okay.
Fucking crushing this quiz, bro.
Okay, here's one. This one's a good one. I'm going to provide context to this for our newer listeners. What was the first episode that we officially had a name for the podcast? So when we first released, obviously we have a name on every episode, the Beyond Jiu Jitsu podcast from episode 1. But when we first started this podcast, Adam and I, we recorded, I think, 10 episodes before we actually released the first one. And we didn't have a name.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a running joke for a while. We were like, I can't remember like if you went back and once we had a name.
No.
Did you end up going back and recording intros?
No. We spoke about that, but we decided to keep it organic and just keep the joke in there and have it part of like the character of the show.
Yeah. So for the first X amount of episodes, we were like, welcome to the unnamed, we said something different every episode or whatever.
But there was a very specific episode where we introduced the show.
And we finally had a name for it.
We finally had a name, like internally. And what was that episode? What number?
What episode was officially where the intro said, welcome to the Beyond Jiu Jitsu podcast?
Yes.
Episode 14?
No, it was episode 8.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I thought we
earlier.
went longer.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally. Yeah, because we were floating around the idea, and I think from around that Ask a Black Belt Q&A, we had an idea. Do you remember what Ask a Black Belt Q&A episode was the first one?
Wasn't it 20?
No, 7. This should be in
was
question.
it 7?
Yeah, 7 was our very first.
Oh,
and then after that, we swapped to every 10.
To every 10.
But we spoke about at the end of that episode about, and we're pretty much settled on a name, Beyond Jiu-Jitsu, but you'll find out, blah, blah, blah. And then episode 8, it was Welcome to the Beyond Jiu-Jitsu podcast.
Fucking there you go.
There you bloody go, mate. All right. Just beat fucking yobbo at the end. All right. So here's another question for Beyond Jiu-Jitsu podcast trivia. Who submitted the very first question to Ask a Black Belt?
Fucking Anthony?
Bonus, what was the question and what was your answer?
Oh, God. I don't
so
know.
you get 1 point for what was the question and 1 point for what was your answer, thereabouts, and you get 1 point for who submitted the first question.
Was it Anthony?
It was Anthony.
Anthony was the first question.
Well done. Anthony is a blue belt that trains at our gym.
What was the question? What was Anthony's first question?
It was a very fitting first question.
I
wonder if Anthony remembers.
God damn, I feel like as soon as you say it, I'm going to be like, that's right.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I can't remember.
Well,
hang on.
Take a stab?
What should a blue belt focus on? Or something like that.
Shit. I'm going to give you half a point for that.
What's a blue belt need to do to get their next belt or something like that?
No, that was one of his later questions. Just go back to what you first said.
So
the question was, what should each belt be focusing on?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to give you half a point.
Then I can't remember what I would have said for each belt, like white belt, fundamentals, blue belt, like.
You eventually elaborated, but your initial answer, you answered a question with a question and you said, what are you trying to achieve?
Oh, look at me go.
Yeah, look at you go. Not answering the question. No. But then you went on to elaborate, and we eventually got the, you did break down each belt and what you think they should be focusing on in general terms. Okay, so the next question. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Are you ready at home?
Uh-huh.
Crickets. I have that button. Okay, what is the only 2-part episode that we've ever done here at Beyond Jiu-Jitsu? And bonus, what are the numbers and what was the title? So the first part of the question, what's the title? Like what was the topic, theme, title, whatever? And then the bonus, what were the episode numbers?
Were they back-to-back episodes?
Yes.
Fuck.
It's our only ever 2-part.
Because I know we've done... Wait.
This is the only time we've ever released part 1, part 2.
Oh man. It wasn't like, I think it was post 50 episodes. Like I think it was after the half century.
That's correct. I'll give you that.
Oh man. What was it that we did? Was it I don't think this is right, but I'm taking a stab. Was it the annoying training partners?
No, but very close. It was actually really close around there as well. Can you guess the numbers?
67 and 68.
Oh, bro. It was 66 and 67.
Oh, man.
That was so close. Oh, I can't give it to you.
Well, I technically got one of them right.
Well,
I got one of the numbers right.
Numbers. All right, fuck it. I'll give you half a point. You can have half a point for that. It was the unspoken rules of jiu-jitsu, part 1 and part 2, and it was 66 and 67.
Shit.
There you go.
Fuck, I wasn't close.
This one's kind of funny. You should get this straight away, hopefully. What is the name of the famous philosopher that you did not know?
Oh, fuck. Marcus Aurelius.
Have another go.
I got the Marcus part right.
Marcus is right. Half a point.
Marcus. Why do I want to say Archimedes? That's not right. Marcus Aurelius.
Archimedes. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius. Bonus point. Do you know the name of his very infamous book that everyone reads? That was weird way to say it. Everyone reads the book. It's one word.
The.
What is he known for? It's meditations.
Oh, okay.
That's a random. It's
never gonna get that.
Yeah, it came up it's come up a few times on the show. Whenever Adam gives me shit for not knowing like sporting stars, I give him shit for not knowing Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah,
it's like one of those things. Anyway, yeah. And speaking about giving people shit, what book did you promise to read but never did?
Can't remember what it's called. The David Goggins book.
Oh no. Yes, that too. So you get a point for that. I forgot about that. What was there another book that you promised to read but never did? You very explicitly promised that you would purchase and read this book.
Oh,
on the show, and you never
um,
followed through.
The Mike Tyson biography.
Yep. Do you know what it's called? You can have a point for Mike Tyson, and you get a point for Goggins, and you can have 2 points if you get the name of it. Because I don't think you will. I'm just making points up. He's like, whose line is it anyway? Points don't matter.
What's the name of the Mike Tyson autobiography?
I'll give it to you if you want.
One box, 2 box.
Big box, small box. No, it's Undisputed Truth.
Okay, I wasn't going to get that.
The Mike Tyson, Undisputed Truth. Okay, I think you will get this one. Well, actually, no, I don't. But you will get close. When did our first episode officially air? I want a date. I
can tell you.
Yeah, because we mentioned it earlier, but was that right?
Yeah, it was August 11th. Well, now you're fucking with me.
All right, I'll just tell you that it's not the 11th.
9th.
No, it's 24th.
What?
Yeah, we can check it. I checked it this morning. It was 24th of August, 2021. Oh.
What?
The phone's coming out. If I'm wrong, you can have like 5 points for getting the quiz wrong. But yeah, very close. I'll give you half a point because you got August 2021, and that's close enough.
Yeah, August 11th.
Show me. Get fucked. Mine said the 24th. Did I get this wrong? Are you going to get 5 points from the quizmaster? Yes, I am the quizmaster. Hang on. Oh, fuck, he's right. Okay, you get 5 points.
Did we have an episode on the 24th?
How the fuck did I get 24th?
We didn't even have an episode on the 24th.
How
we
did I
had
get
one on
that
the
wrong?
22nd and one on the 25th.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, I know what happened. I was looking at my analytics, and the analytics said the 24th.
Ah, okay.
For some reason on the yeah, right. So on our software that we upload all the episodes, yeah, it said the 24th. I didn't check Spotify.
Fucking bam, I'm back.
Oh, hang on. Maybe that's the date that it was live on Spotify, but not live on other platforms.
Yeah, because I think we didn't get on Apple or whatever.
It shows Apple for a week, but we got on Spotify first. So that's when we aired on Apple. The question should have been the day we aired on Apple Podcast. Okay.
Look, I'll give you a point, Kieren. There you go. For that
sure. Thank you.
Discrepancy.
Okay. You get 5 points for that. Okay. What was our first Instagram post? Bonus, when was it posted?
Fuck, I don't know what our first Instagram post was. Was our first Instagram post of the artwork?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah, I don't
And when
know.
was it posted? I'll just accept a month and a year.
I don't think we... I think we had... Were we releasing episodes prior to the artwork? It was either August or September, I think. I'll go with August.
Fuck, you're good, man. That's correct. Man, he's good. He knows the show.
Yeah.
He knows the show, funnily enough. Shit. Here's one. Here's probably my favorite question, which is why it's last. Here's the question. And follow along at home. See if you can guess.
They left ages ago, Kieren.
It's like only one listener. It's like fucking just Nicholas from Patreon. Love you, Nicholas. All right. How long would it take someone to listen to every episode, not including this one, of the Beyond Jiu Jitsu podcast? I'll accept either minutes, hours, or days. As in, like, give me the...
Yeah. So...
And we'll make it easy. I'll give you the right answer in minutes, plus or minus like 50.
Well, minutes is going to be too hard math-wise.
So you can have minutes plus minus like, say, 50? Fuck it. I'll give you 100. Plus minus
I'm
100.
not putting it into minutes. I'm going to do it in hours.
Okay. In that case, I'll give you plus minus 5. And I'm not going to give you any plus minus days. You have to get it bang on.
I don't know, like not including this episode, 99 episodes, roughly an hour. I don't know, 99 hours.
Close.
Am I within the 5 that you said I could have?
No.
Oh. Shit.
Your face, man. Well, yeah, your math was like logical, but
I think we
Gotta
got
work on a different average.
more like 45-minute episodes, more 90 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, 90.8.
Yeah,
I'll give you
right.
that. Yeah. And how many days would that be?
Fuck, bro.
3.8 days. So if you wanted to listen to every episode back to back, it would take you 5,445 minutes, 90.8 hours, or 3.8 days of your life. And I apologize. And that is the Beyond Jiu-Jitsu podcast.
I
quiz.
fucking crushed that quiz.
You fucking nailed that. I reckon you got well and truly over 50%. I'd have to like,
I don't know if you were saying this on air or off air, but you were like, man, if you get 50%, you win.
yeah, I did.
Because you thought I
said
wasn't
that
gonna-
on air.
But then you also just started handing out points willy-nilly. Like you didn't give a shit. So
All right, let's tally up your points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2 halves is 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 and a half out of 14.
does that include my bonus plus 5?
Yeah, it does.
Sick.
Yeah, you fucking crushed that, man. You got nearly every single question right.
It was the poop coffee, I tell you.
Yeah, it made you smarter for some reason. Poop went to your brain. It worked. Yeah, I think you only got one you got wrong was the episode we had the name, episode 8, and every other question you got at least half a point for.
Fuck, not bad,
Man, you
bro.
nailed it.
Not bad.
Damn, son.
That was a good quiz, bro. Good job.
You're welcome. And you're welcome for everyone at home for following along.
Yeah. This listener who's like, I've been needing some new trivia questions. He hosts a trivia night. So he's like, on what episode of the Beyond Jiu-Jitsu podcast? A pub full of people.
What the fuck is that? We'll get to the point where everyone's, oh, yeah, I should have known that.
Yeah, I should have. Man, that was great.
Well, there you go. So hopefully you learned something about jiu-jitsu and about the jiu-jitsu podcast.
Don't worry about it. Don't have to learn anything.
And you suffered through my terrible pronunciations of some names and
condolences to Osvaldo Alves.
That's terrible. That's such bad timing.
Yeah.
But what is funny timing is I did want to bring this up at some point. So fuck it, we can bring it up now. Is the episode that we released about how I titled it how no time limit matches are destroying jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And then we recorded that before the no time limit match.
Before the Who's Number One or the Who's Next
Yes.
finale with
Yes.
Isaac Mitchell and Kyle Chambers.
Yes, before that. And we spoke about, specifically, you spoke about how it's a great idea, terrible for viewing, and it's shit. Everyone's going to hate it. It's going to ruin it.
So shit.
And it turns out we were right.
Yeah, it's funny. I did an Instagram post being like, oh my God, no time limit matches, so shit.
Yeah.
Everyone was in agreement with my post. Everyone. It's like
Everyone in the world.
I have like 7 followers.
Yeah.
Anyway, like everyone was in agreement except for one mate of mine, a fellow black belt who was all for it. And I was like, bro, and then so we had a bit of a conversation. I was like, man, I don't know anyone who enjoyed watching those 2 hours. And he was like, I did. And I was like, oh, fuck, okay, well, whatever. But
I enjoyed
just
parts
to
of it.
clarify, the whole like I don't know if I said this when we were in the no time limit episode. No time limit submission only jiu-jitsu. Oh yeah, I don't, whether you want to say it's the purest form of jiu-jitsu or whatever, I don't care. Like there's definitely value in it and it's a lot of fun as the individual doing it or whatever. Like no time limit, submission only. We do that type of training quite frequently.
Fun. It's very fun.
Right? I just don't think it has a place on televised events. Like it is so boring from a spectator point of view. And man, I take my hat off to Isaac, not only for winning Who's Next, but man, like it was 2 hours that fight and Isaac attacked the entire time. Like, man, it wasn't like Kyle Chambers, holy fuck, bro. Like, yeah, he had one good submission attempt, which was that triangle and a couple of nice leg entanglement entry attempts.
And they rolled out. Yep.
But man, like otherwise it was just 2 hours of Isaac. Like Kyle didn't even have a guard. He just let Isaac pass him.
Yep.
Like his whole strategy was, I'll just survive until he gives up, pretty much. That's what it seemed like his strategy was. And it was just 2 hours of Isaac passing his guard, taking his back, and then Kyle escaping the back.
And even,
and
did you hear even
and
Gio
over
Martinez at some point yelled out, come on, Kyle, you're the main event. Like, you're the co-main event. Let's go.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Even
But
his corner was encouraging him to fucking do something.
Dude, he didn't attack at all. And then after the match, like even there's a thing where I think Isaac even posted it where he's like Kyle saying like, oh yeah, Isaac did really good what we call anti-jiu-jitsu.
Fuck, man.
Bro, man. Anyway, Isaac was awesome. Super happy for him to win, not just because he's Australian. Obviously, that's bonus points. Like, but yeah, man, it has no place in the spectator aspect of it.
Yeah,
and in the no time limit match, we spoke about having like, you know, what I think would be cool formats or whatever. Yesterday, I was speaking to Anthony, and it just kind of, I just thought about it on the spot. I was like, oh, what could potentially be cool? In the no time limit match, I said how it's the restraints and the rule set of a sport that makes it entertaining, right? Yeah. Like I said, you know, you don't want to watch a match of tennis until someone passes out from exhaustion and say it's the most pure form of tennis, or like, you know, the most pure form of tennis is when there is no lines on the court. Like, it's the rules and restrictions that make it entertaining. But I did say, what if there was some type of, imagine a no time limit submission only event. And I don't know how it would work, but essentially, let's say there's, you know, you and me are one pair, and then on the other side of the bracket is, you know, Bob and Steve, right? And then I submit you, and then Bob submits Steve, right? But then it took me 45 minutes to submit you, whereas Bob got his submission in 20 minutes. So therefore, like, his win is more valuable than mine. So that way, that then is somehow reflected in whatever the next bracket or something, like something to incentivize going for the submission. So like, imagine if you had a submission only event where, I don't know how it would work, but something that incentivized the sub, that you know, you can only win by submission, but the quicker you get your submission, the better your seed is in the next, I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Something like that.
That'd be a lot better than what they're currently trialing. Or even one thing I've been thinking about is perhaps make it an hour, 60-minute limit, because that is a long fucking match. Like an hour, 60 minutes is a long jiu-jitsu match, particularly when they're going nuts.
But then like there's almost no point, because then, you know, let's say someone's 50 minutes in and they've been getting more, like let's say that Isaac Kyle match. Yeah. Kyle's 50 minutes in, he's just looking at the clock going, well, as long as I just survive the next 10 minutes, it's a draw. Yeah. Like he really has no incentive to then attack, right?
Yeah, totally agree.
And expose himself and then potentially get submitted in the last 10 minutes.
So you would have to go with a judge's decision, but then you have to judge 60
But then if you have a judge's decision, why let it go for 60 minutes?
Yeah, why not just be 30?
But yeah, like, I don't know. If there was somewhere that if the submission was shorter, that rewarded you something. Yeah, I don't know what it would be.
So you need to keep the raw essence of like, no, this keeps going until someone wins. Yeah. Like you can't fucking stall, and not making it a judge's call. And I totally agree. Anyway, it is a tricky one.
It was a shit show. I thought it was the crappiest tour. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, same.
And cool. There was super impressive back takes from Isaac, and you know,
that back take was mad. The one that he showed on his Instagram.
Yeah, and you can't also like deny how good Kyle's defense was, and how, you know, he survived 2 hours without getting submitted, right? Like obviously he's got very good, he's very good at not getting submitted or whatever. But yeah, as a whole, like I didn't want to watch that for 2 hours, right? Like same reason I don't want to watch an ultra marathon race.
Yeah.
Chop it into a 5-minute highlight. I'll watch
running.
that. they're still going.
They're still running.
You know, the best part of a marathon, like the first kilometer, the last kilometer. Yeah. You know, everything in between.
And the highlights in the middle, the bonuses. Yeah, totally. I get what you're saying. So if they do, I don't know how they do it on Who's Next. I'm assuming they chop it up into a highlight.
Yeah.
That would be a better way to do it. But if it's a live event, you can't.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like so Who's Next, they then, you know, it's a 2-hour match. They chop it into a 5-10 minute match for the viewer to watch. Cool. But yeah, if it's live, dude, it was such a shit show that you had the co-main event. you could argue was the main event if it wasn't for Gordon Ryan being on the card, right?
Totally.
And they had to kick them off the main stage to continue the match backstage.
Yep,
so Gordon Ryan and Pedro Medina could come on and fight.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just the fact that you had to stop it to be like, this is taking too long. You guys are going to have to go out backstage and keep competing backstage.
Yeah, it seemed like they didn't have that was obviously their backup plan, but it wasn't a reality for them. They didn't think it was going to happen, and that was the problem with the production, in my opinion. And they didn't continue streaming it. They just kept
every now and again they showed a little
like a little thing in the corner.
Yeah, a little thing in the corner
cool.
while the Gordon Ryan.
It's good that they did
Pedro
that.
Fight was
that was cool. But I kind of I was invested into the fight at that point. Like I'd watched it for like 90 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't want to miss the Gordon Ryan fight.
It got so long that I was like, I don't even care who wins anymore. I just want this to be over.
Yeah, it's almost like it was nearly as long as we spent talking about it. So, it's fucking long then.
Anyway, bro, let's wrap this shit up.
Let's wrap it up. We got places to be.
Episode 100, man. That's a cool milestone for us. Thank you for the journey, Kieren. Without you, wouldn't happen. Kieren does all the production side of the podcast.
Send you my invoice.
Yeah, that alone should earn him a blue belt on the rocket ship, but
Wait, was that you just admitting that I should be a blue belt on the rocket ship?
I said should, not does. I said should.
But it's just like, them's the breaks.
Yeah, but it's like saying someone like, "Oh man, you should be a purple belt already." Doesn't mean they are, settle down, cuz. Terrence, thank you for the poop coffee.
Yeah.
Patreons, thank you so much. Non-Patreons, listeners who Spotify, YouTube, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for the support. We will continue to make episodes into the triple digits.
To the next 100.
Till the next 100.
Yes. And if you've gotten to this point, you obviously like the show, submit a question.
Do it.
Just
next submit a question.
Episode
it might come up in a quiz.
Yeah.
Might come up in a quiz, people. Submit a question.
You want a quiz? Fucking get your name in. So the next Q&A will be episode 110. We are taking audio questions now.
Yep.
So submit your audio questions. It's coming up episode 110, and that's coming to you hot. For the next 100 episodes, what can you expect? Pretty much the same shit. Nothing's changing.
Yes.
We're going to have on some guests that we've been promising for the last 6 months.
Yep.
Particularly one guest that's we're trying to get on, that he'll be on. Some other guests coming on.
And then that other guest that we mentioned that one time.
Yeah.
They're all coming on.
Yep. And that's about it.
Yep. I'm looking forward to talking about just the banana crown coming up, internal competition we're having at the gym. We'll talk about that.
It's going to be disappointing.
Either on the next episode or the one after. Yeah, you won't be there. Sucks to be you, bro. So I'll just have to tell you all about it.
Yeah, you tell me about it. Well, we do know whoever wins it will be like a placeholder. They'll be the interim champion.
But they'll have the bananas.
Yeah, but they'll be the interim bananas. Come on, we all know they're the interim. They need to fight, they need to actually go through the gauntlet, mate. Fuck, come on.
Guys, thank you so much. 100 episodes in the bag. Looking forward to having you with us for the next 100. Until then.